We're here in our studios and we're going to do some critical camera tests today. Taking a look at footage between our Sony cameras that we have and our brand new Alexa 35, which is pretty exciting. As a production house, we find ourselves sometimes doing multi-camera work, and it's pretty critical for us to have cameras that can match when you're cutting between an A and a B camera. Since we picked up this Alexa 35, I've been looking on the internet and reading a ton about how it works with Sony workflows. For us as a production team, we kind of want to know on a gut level how they cut together, and so the only way to do it is really to shoot some footage, try to make the exact same frame with each camera, and then bring it into Resolve and take a look at it and get a sense of if the cameras can play together and if we love this workflow. So we'll take a peek and see where it goes. Maybe that's good enough. Yeah. So I think, do you like the microphone?
Yeah, it's great. I like the
I think there are two versions of this. One is the exact same frame with the Alexa 35, the FX9, and the FX6. And then the other is Alexa 35 as an A camera with a Sony camera as an off angle. Because that's sort of like the other real world workflow that we shoot in. And maybe they're not identical, but maybe that like A-B cutting is actually like valuable for us.
Really, we're just testing that option between the 6 and the 9, right?
Okay, yes. Yeah, and so we can keep the Alexa as the A camera all the time, and then we do a blind test on ourselves to see if it's a 6 or a 9, and if we can't tell the difference, then we can sell the 9. Okay, cool, good. Great. Cut. Okay, voiceover time. I'm going to showcase the cameras with Zainab standing in, and we're not going to list any of the camera names, of course. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. In this first pass, I'm going to show you ungraded footage just directly out of the camera with our poor exposure balancing. And then in the second pass, I'll do just a quick grade on them to keep exposures the same. You're likely asking yourself, is there a difference in how these cameras expose? And I can only say that the answer is most likely no. Definitely likely to be human error here. It does bring up case use for pairing these two cameras together, that it is tricky to do quick math when you're ripping through exposures. The Alexa 35 lists them using optical density. So you get ND6, ND 1.4, ND 1.8, and the Sonys are listed in fractions on the variable ND, so you get 1/64 or 1/8 or so on or so forth. And so this is a good takeaway from this camera test as well for workflow, is that a Sony Alexa workflow is just a little bit confusing to have different settings you got to be messing with. This camera test is a lot like how all our shoot days go. They are fast-paced, and we're never going to be not pressed for time. And it's great to recognize that as one of the conclusions from this test. So we shot out each camera in relatively the same position with relatively the same exposure, very scientific. And now we're going to try a different setup, which is like really true to how we're going to run this camera. The Alexa 35 will be our A camera for interview setups, and then we're going to have a Sony camera that is yet to be determined to be our B camera. Similar frame to this Hero frame, but the tighter version of it. Okay, cool.
Which means, because this is effectively at around 52 or whatever, we'll have to, these only go to 70, so let's push in the camera a little bit as well, forward.
Okay, cool. These clips have been graded. I'm going to give you camera 1, camera 2, then camera 1, camera 3. And the goal is not to see will they match, but rather is there strengths in a Sony as a B camera that would result in us either keeping the FX6 or keeping the FX9 and not selling the other one. Is there any reason to keep them? Okay, time for a big reveal. Camera 1, of course, is the Alexa 35, and then camera 2 is the Sony FX6, and camera 3 is the Sony FX9. It'd be interesting to hear if you see any important differences in this graded footage. If you have my number, send me a text and let me know if anything stands out to you. From my perspective here right now, with tired eyes on it in the suite, it certainly looks like these cameras can all cut together. And we're going to have an awesome Arri Sony workflow moving forwards. I don't think any non-film nerd is going to have issue with these two cameras cutting together for testimonial talking head type projects, which is pretty cool. Bonus section, cameras in the wild. You're about to hear me talk through one more camera test, but in the edit suite I realized I didn't say one detail. The cameras are both underexposed while also being at 1600 to intentionally sort of see what it's like when the image falls apart. So just remember that they're not even properly exposed at 1600 in this next section. As a bonus, took the cameras to the country, almost dropped the microphone in the mud puddle below me, wasn't paying attention. And now I'm running the cameras at 1600 ISO out here in the wild. The sun just went across the horizon, and it'll be really cool to see how they play together. I think this time I've matched the filtration, a 1.8 or a 1/64 ND, and I've also matched the exposure at 2.8. It'll be really cool to play it this way, and then the next clip you'll see I'm going to take the filtration out and put them back to 800 ISO. Okay, might be a little bit spicy. They're both here at 800 ISO. Ooh, look at that. Nice jet stream against the blue sky up there. Oh, it's probably not in your frame. How else do we end the video? I don't really think we're going to become professional YouTubers, so there's no need to like and subscribe. But maybe you'll see that this was fun to make. Maybe you'll see another one of these sometime in the future. Thanks for watching, I think. Cool.